Want to get 20 years out of that new lawn tractor? Hey everybody, if you just bought a new lawn tractor, there's no reason why you can't get 20 years out of it. I was able to get 20 years out of this tractor, and I'm going to pass along a few of the tips that have helped me to be able to get that much life out of it. I've found that one of the most important things that you can do for your engine is to change the oil regularly and make sure that it's full of clean, fresh oil. I like to change the oil approximately every 24 hours. Now, I don't mean that if I change the oil at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to change it again at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But what I mean is that if it takes you 4 hours to mow your lawn, you can mow your lawn 6 times before it's time to change the oil. If it takes 2 hours, then you can mow your lawn 12 times, and so on. Then it's time to change the oil. And what I like to use is either SAE 30 or 10W30. And if you live in a hotter area, hotter climate, you may want to use a heavier oil than that. If you have temperatures that are quite often above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, for example. Another thing I like to do is I like to burn off the last bit of gas that's in the tank at the end of the season. That way it doesn't sit around all winter with gas in the carburetor bowl, and the gas does go bad if it sits around for a long time, and that can cause problems. So ideally I like to start off with an empty tank first thing in the spring. I also like to take the spark plug out and shoot a few drops of oil into the cylinder for the winter. So that's why I leave the spark plug wire off, to remind me that I did leave the plug loose. And the reason I leave the plug loose is because I'm going to pull it out and clean it and gap it anyway. At the beginning of every season in the spring, I like to check the tire pressure, and I may check it a couple more times during the year because they do go flat sometimes. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the grease gun and shoot some grease into these grease fittings for the steering components and for the wheel bearings. Now some of these machines might have some grease fittings on some of the linkages for the attachment clutch underneath, so you can look there. If not, a lot of them just require a couple drops of oil on some of the pivot points on the linkage. It's a good idea to always check the air filter at the beginning of the season too, to make sure that it's clean. Now this air filter has a foam sleeve that fits over the paper filter, so the foam sleeve is removable, and I'm going to take that off and wash it in some warm water with some dish soap, and that'll get all the dirt out of it. I'm going to vacuum the paper filter if it's in good shape, and this one is, so it can just be vacuumed and reused. It's also a good idea to change the fuel filter at the beginning of the season, or at least change it every couple of years. And that's really it. All I got to do is fill the tank up with some fresh gas and check for leaks at the tank, at the carburetor, and at the fuel filter. If you found this video entertaining, helpful, or informative in some way, please don't forget to like it, and you can also comment in the section below. Thanks for watching.